Esperanza Rising, pages 131 through 135. Now on page 131, normally I would start beneath the squiggle, but there isn't one. So I'm actually starting down here at the very last sentence that begins with Marta. Marta and some of her friends stood in the bed of a truck that was parked nearby, each of them holding up one of the tiny kittens. "This is what we are," she yelled, "small, meek animals, and that is how they treat us because we don't speak up. If we don't ask for what is rightfully ours, we will never get it. This is how we want to live?" She held the kitten by the back of the neck, waving it high in the air. It hung limp in front of the crowd. "With no decent home and at the mercy of those bigger than us, richer than us?" Isabel trembled, her eyes in a panic. Will she drop it? A man called out, "Maybe all that cat wants to do is feed its family. Maybe it doesn't care what all the other cats are doing." "Señor, does it not bother you that some of your compadres live better than others?" yelled one of Marta's friends. "We are going to strike in 2 weeks at the peak of the cotton for higher wages and better housing." "We don't pick cotton on this farm," yelled another man from their camp. "What does it matter?" yelled Marta. "If we all stop working, if all the Mexicans are juntos, together," she made a fist and held it in the air, "then maybe it will help us all." He yelled back, "That is a chance we cannot take. We just want to work. That's why we came here. Get out of our camp." A cheer rose up around him. People started shoving, and Esperanza grabbed Isabel's hand, pulled her aside. A young man jumped into the truck and started the engine. Marta and the others tossed the kittens into the field. Then they pulled some of their supporters into the back of the truck with them and raised their arms, chanting, "Huelga, Huelga, strike, strike." "Why is she so angry?" asked Esperanza, as she walked back to the cabin a few hours later with Josefina, Isabel, and the babies, leaving the others to stay later. Isabel carried the soft, mewing, orange kitten in her arms. She and her mother move around to find work, sometimes all over the state, said Josefina. They work wherever there is something to be harvested. Those camps, the migrant camps, are the worst. "Like when we were in El Centro?" said Isabel. "Worse," said Josefina. "Our camp is a company camp, and people who work here don't leave. Some live here for many years. That is why we came to this country, to work, to take care of our families, to become citizens. We are lucky because our camp is better than most. There are many of us who don't want to get involved in the strike because we can't afford to lose our jobs. And we are accustomed to how things in our little community." "They want to strike for better houses?" asked Esperanza. "That and more money for those who pick cotton," said Josefina. "They only get 7 cents a pound for picking cotton. They want 10 cents a pound. It seems like such a small price to pay, but in the past the grower said no. And now more people are coming to the valley to look for work, especially from places like Oklahoma, where there is little work, little rain, and little hope. If the Mexicans strike, the big farms will simply hire others. Then what do we do?" Esperanza wondered what would happen if Mama did not have a job. Would they have to go back to Mexico? Josefina put the babies to bed. Then she kissed Isabel and Esperanza on their foreheads and sent them next door. Isabel and Esperanza lay in their beds listening to the music and the bursts of laughter in the background. The kitten, after drinking a bowl of milk, curled up in Isabel's arms. Esperanza tried to imagine conditions that were more shabby than this. A room that was covered in newspaper to keep out the wind. Could things possibly be worse? Sleepily, Isabel said, "Did you have parties in Mexico?" "Yes," whispered Esperanza, keeping her promise to Isabel about her old life.